Every single minute, people send over 200 million email, create around 2.4 million snaps on Snapchat, watch millions of YouTube videos, and make thousands of online purchases. And every one of these actions creates data. Globally, over 90% of the world's data has been created in just the last few years, and we are projected to generate around 230 to 240 zettabyte of data by 2026 end. So the question is, what do we do with all this data? This is exactly where data analytics comes in. Everyone is talking about data analytics today. You hear that it's the future, one of the most in demand skill, and that companies are hiring data analysts everywhere. But what exactly is data analytics? What does a data analyst actually do, and why has it become so important? In this video, we are going to clearly answer all these questions. So let's start from the basics. What is data analytics? Data analytics is simply the process of taking raw data and turning it into useful information. What this means is, in its raw form, data looks messy and confusing, like a huge box of puzzle pieces. But when these pieces are carefully put together, a clear picture starts to appear. This is exactly what a data analyst does. Through this process, data analytics helps businesses understand what is really happening, whether customers are satisfied, which products are performing well, why users are leaving, and what we should improve next. A real example of this is Walmart. A company noticed that before hurricane, certain products started selling faster than usual. When analysts analyzed historical sales data, they uncovered patterns that were not obvious at first. Using these insights, Walmart adjusted inventory in advance and avoided losses. This is why everything in data analytics begins with a clearly defining a problem statement. So the first step in data analytics is defining a business problem. This is where a data analyst works closely with business teams for understanding what decisions need to be made and why. In Walmart case, the question was not simply what are the sales number, but something more meaningful. How can customer demand be predicted early so stores can be prepared in advance? At this stage, vague ideas are converted into clear, specific, and measurable questions. This step sets the direction for the entire analysis because without clearly defining a problem statement, even large data set has no value. This is a big part of data analytics job, translating business challenges into analytical question. Once the problem is clear, the next step is collecting real world data. Data analysts gather information from multiple sources depending on the question they are trying to answer. This can include internal systems like sales database, CRM tool, website analytics, or email platform, as well as external sources such as weather data, public data set, or market trend. In Walmart case, years of historical data were combined with weather data, store location details, and inventory record. Some records were missing, some had incorrect value, and some products were labeled differently across region. Just for your reference, this is how a real world data actually looks like. And understanding this is an important part for becoming a data analyst. Now, before any meaningful analysis can be done, the data must be cleaned and organized, which brings us to our next step, cleaning and preparing the data. This is one of the most time consuming part of a data analyst role. Duplicate records are removed, missing values are handled, errors are corrected, and formats are standardized. Product names must be consistent, dates must be aligned correctly, and data coming from different systems must be working together. Without this step, analysis result can be misleading or completely wrong. And real world project, data cleaning often takes more time than actual analysis. But it's critical because bad quality of data leads to bad business decisions. Once the data is clean, analysis moves to the next stage, which is exploring the data to discover patterns. At this point, the analysts start asking the questions from the data itself. They look for trend, relationship, and unusual behavior. This could involve comparing activity before and after certain event, analyzing how behavior changes across region, or identifying which action or product are commonly linked together. In retail environment, analysts examine how demand shifts during seasonal changes or major events. Through this exploration, unexpected patterns often emerges insights that were not based on assumption but revealed directly by the data. After these initial patterns are discovered, the process moves forward into deeper analysis to confirm those insights. This step is about validation. Analysts check whether the same trend appear consistently across different time period, location, or user group. Techniques such as statistical testing, trend analysis, or predictive modeling may be used depending on the problem. This step turns observation into evidence-backed conclusion. Instead of saying this seems to be happening, analysts can confidently say this consistently happen and here is the data to prove it. This is where data analytics become trustworthy. Once insights are confirmed, they must be communicated clearly, which brings us to visualizing and communicating insight. The key part of data analyst role is storytelling with data. Insights are presented using dashboard, charts, and reports that highlight trends, comparisons, and key takeaways. Rather than overwhelming stakeholders with raw numbers, visuals are used to make insights easy to understand and act on. This allows teams across marketing, operation, product, or leadership to quickly grasp what is happening and make information based decisions. Strong communication skills are essential here because insights only create value when people understand them. The final step is taking action and measuring impact. Based on the insight, organization make changes, adjusting strategies, improving processes, launching new initiative, or reallocating resources. The result of these actions are then measured using data to understand what worked and what didn't. When done correctly, data analytics create measurable, repeatable, or scalable impact across teams and organizations. In real life, data analytics projects also come with challenges. Data can be incomplete or inconsistent. External factors can influence outcomes. Business priorities can change. But the data analysts constantly balance accuracy, speed, and communication while working with imperfect data. This is why data analytics is not just a technical role, but a problem solving discipline that sits at the intersection of data, business, and decision making. So, data analytics is not just about tools or technology. It is about structured process that starts with business problem and ends with a real impact. Companies use data analytics to understand behavior, predict future outcome, reduce cost, improve product, and make smarter decisions. When data is analyzed correctly, it becomes one of the most powerful assets a company can have, turning information into insight and insight into actions.